Hello, hello, hello. At least tonight I'm not late. At least tonight I'm not late. Hello everyone, good evening. How are you guys today? How are you guys today? My side, all good. Even if it starts to be quite hot in Italy. Temperature is rising dramatically. So before we were complaining because it was raining, now we are complaining because it's too hot. Typical. Oops, wait a second. Wait a second. I have some stuff open that I need to close. That I should be fine because this is on the other screen. Okay, sorry. I still had some stuff. Yeah. Okay. So the plan for tonight, the plan for tonight is a tough one, boys. We have a monster bug, really a monster bug in front of us. It's a tough one. Is something that I've been chasing yesterday a lot, and I've been chasing so much yesterday. I made some progress in the last, let's say, hour or so, which is great. Otherwise, I would have streamed something else, because if I had, no hope, I would not stream, this topic. But luckily, I have some hope. So I will show you what I did, okay? So what I did to simplify the problem, the first thing that I did, I reduced the complexity of the progression script that is run during the bug, right? In particular, I have reduced the number of buffs that you are getting through the two scripts. And the good news is, I want to test it one more time, but the good news is that if I switch from this version, which basically has 6 modifiers, right, to a version that only has 1 modifier, which is this one, only this one, is still crashing. But if I switch from this one to this one, is not crashing. Okay, so it seems that this particular buff, which actually is a variable buff, which is a bit of a special one, may be the one that is causing the trouble. Okay, at least that's my strong hope at this point, that we can find something into that. But before going there, I want to be sure that we test it again. So I want to be sure, because I only tested it one time, and one time is not enough, so it's really little. So I want to do another run with the simplified script and that variable changed, and see if we are not crashing. If we are not crashing, I think there is a good chance that we are on the right path, right? There may be a good chance we are on the right path. So I need to, so let's do it. It's gonna take a bit, but let's do it. Yes. Hello, Funner. You see a programming tiger? Yeah, there are very few in this world. Also because, I have a very, very large keyboard. to fit my tiger fingers. So every key is like 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So I'm basically like playing a piano here when I'm programming, right? Otherwise my fingers would not fit. Well, it's going okay. I would not say that it's going great because we had that bug that is really giving me hard time, but hard time. So there was a moment yesterday where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna fix it ever. But I would say that now with the new simplification that I did and that I shown that is only that particular buff that is giving trouble, right? That is problematic. Then I'm a bit more positive that maybe we can do it. I'm a bit more positive, right? I have another way to fix it. I mean, if it really all goes wrong, I have a way to basically work around and at least not having the game crash, right? But I really would like to avoid using a workaround when I need to. I mean, I would like to. Okay, so this guy is casting a spell on himself, right? I'm casting a spell on him, right? And now I'm killing him, okay? By the way, this operation does not trigger the bug. What triggers the bug is this guy respawning, and the same sequence happening again, and then we crash. That is why I was having such a hard time in reproducing the bug, because it's only happening the second time you do it, not the first time. The first time works okay. So now we are waiting for the NPC to respawn, right? I'm using this left client only because there is a game master, there is a GM account, and I need to kill the guy with the GM account. Oh fuck, okay. Seems to be working. Okay, he's doing his spell. Uh-oh. What is going on? No, I don't have enough mana. Are you serious? I don't have enough mana? Okay, now I should have enough mana. But the other spell already expired. Now we need to redo the test. I didn't have enough mana for this, so it's not a good test. Okay, I didn't have enough mana. I cannot believe it. Why if I drink because it is a eating potion, not a mana potion. Okay, now I have. We could do it again, but I would like to do it always the same. Okay, so I'm going to restart everything. I don't want to have one run, you know, that is different from the other run. I want to do exactly the same stuff because these kind of bugs are very nasty, and if you just change the minimum thing, they change as well. So I really want to redo it up to the point that should your character tell you that you have no mana when you're trying to cast? Or you could have a voice that is saying to you like no mana, or I cannot attack yet, or something like that. But maybe I play too much Diablo 4. Yeah, it's possible. It is possible, boys. And how are you, Fanner? What are you doing today? We have a bag I'm trying to fix because I would like to put it in the new dungeon, in the new, newbie area dungeon. But there are some problem with the artist. The artist did something that is not really complete. It's just partially complete, and so I think I will have to do stuff myself, which is a bit annoying because it's a commission. I mean, I paid for it, so paying for it and then having to do stuff yourself is kind of so. But anyway, I don't know why it's so hard to get, even paying money. Okay, that is execution number 1. So the 2 spells, the guy had 2 buffs on himself when he died, and the 2 buffs got cancelled. Some Christie projector on the main website. Projectors. Projectors. Big face. Okay. Okay, now we do it a second time. Hopefully we have enough mana. Yes, we do. We wait the guy to cast his spell on him. We click and we cast our spell. And now we kill him again. It did not crash. Okay, it did not crash. So I think that this validates the theory that the offending operation is variable int. Now the question I have is, this variable int stands for integer, I guess, right? So okay, so that may be the cause of the problem, right? And we need to understand why this function is different from a skill buff or a state buff, right? Why this one is crashing and the other is not crashing? Considering we are speaking about memory and freeing memory and allocation of memory, wrong memory, I think that must be something in the destructor, or yeah, the point is that the destructor is completely empty. Huh. 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 Interesting. The structure is actually completely empty. Ah! There is this delete value. There is this delete value, which is a delete of the math expression that has been created. But actually, we are not calling super. I think this is never getting executed, right? Because because we are not calling super in any way, right? So that value remains in memory somehow. That value remains in memory, I think. I think so. Okay, the one that was, okay, let's try to compare the two, right? The one that was working was, for example, def, right? Def is the one that we are using now. And def is generating a combat mod OP, right? this is actually an applied one. So multiplier mod, the mod target attack modifier, define defense, mod target defense modifier, value. Hello, Hula. Good evening. Well, there is one significant difference between the two, that this one seems not to be using a math script expression, because this env is a math environment, right? So this is a much simpler function. While this one, right? Apply a to load, return apply to load a node. Apply to load. Get attribute name. Applied one load. Math expression create. Yeah, but this in theory should be the same for both, I assume. Yeah, because also here we go and we return the load of our node. The only difference is that we are in apply 2 instead of being apply 1, but pretty much, you know, pretty much is similar though. Let me try just a second. Let me try just a second a one-to-one comparison, you know. Is there a way to set this notepad to dark? No, huh? GG. So annoying. So insanely annoying to be so white. But anyway, we will live with that. I'm trying to understand, you know, how these two are different, if they are different. I mean, for sure they are different, but I'm trying to understand. So the first difference is that this one, which is the one crashing, so this one crashes, this one doesn't crash, right? So the one crashing is actually using applied 2, so is a subclass of applied 2 instead of being a subclass of applied 1, right? And we need to see a second, I mean, what is the real difference? Then in terms of constructor, is pretty much the same. The destructor, I mean, apart from calling applied 2 obviously, but the destructor is empty for both, right? The loading, I think is trying to get the type. Do we have a type? We don't have a type, huh? We don't have a type. So actually, that type will be invalid, huh? Which probably is okay, but let's say this type node get tag will probably be empty. Even if, wait a second, type, no, sorry, because type is on is on def. But def doesn't have type anyway. Okay, that's a bit strange, but fine. So here we are loading node applied 2. Here we are loading node applied 1. So yes, they are actually a bit different, right? They are a bit different. So apply to load, what is doing? Apply to load is getting the name in addition, and then is loading like 1. So it's pretty much the same with the addition of name. And name, do we have name? Yes, here we have name. So applied 2 basically has a name, and applied 1 does not have a name. He only has a value. Okay, so that's one difference, you know, between the two. But so this will load the name, and this will not load name. Okay, but doesn't seem to be a great difference. Then we are evaluating. We are doing value evaluate environment. In the get description, and then we return nothing. This is a bit stupid though. I mean, we are evaluating something and then we are not returning anything. So it's kind of weird. This thing is kind of weird. I don't know why we do this, but theory makes no sense. Because here there was a specific description, right? Okay. This one we can change if we want. We can remove this line because it's useless. It's absolutely useless. Then we have the run. The run is the part where the real stuff happens, right? And in this case, we are creating a multiplier pointer, which is called mod. And then we are checking if we are in attack mode or in defense mode. And we are returning the attack modifier or the defense modifier. We are evaluating the value. We are buffing this mod by the value that we got, right? Because we assume is a multiplier. And then we add, this is our first difference, but I don't think that's the case. But you see that here we have well, one difference is that here we are getting a buffable by reference, right? We are getting a buffable by reference, and in here we are getting a buffable by pointer. Was it the same? Was it the same in the old game or not? Because maybe I changed something, you know, to make it compile when I did the porting, and maybe I just forgot about. I mean, I just said, okay, let's make it compile. If it works, works. But maybe I didn't do it right. Okay. GG. Should be under scripting anyway, and it is. No, it's exactly the same. It is exactly the same in the old game. It is exactly the same in the old game. Okay, one thing that we can do. Target get buffable variable. My feeling is that, considering it happens only when you do the thing twice, that the get buffable variable is actually getting the wrong buffable. That's my fear. That is actually getting the wrong buffable. So, I mean, I think what we can do, instead of stopping here, right? Instead of stopping here, I think we will stop in I think we will stop here. And I want to see if this buffable value actually is corrupted the second time that we read it, right? Because basically what happens is that the first time it is correct, so is a proper spell. The second time is garbage memory, right? The second time is garbage memory. And I don't know if the name is wrong. I don't know if forcing this to an int is the problem. But we were forcing it to an int already in the old game. It's exactly identical. This part is identical. Is absolutely identical. The only difference is the active spell, which probably, in my case, I'm passing as a weak pointer. Hello, Fergus. Okay. I really hoped to find a distractor with some bad code in it, but we didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't. Okay. So let's bring it back to the case where it's crashing, right? So if I change this and I change this, and instead of making it a def, I make it a, right? I make it this value. I make it this value. Right, so this should trigger the problem. But sometimes, you know what I've seen is that in my tests, sometimes I was reproducing the bug, and it was crashing in completely crazy places. Like it was crashing like in animation. He was crashing in garbage collection of something completely unrelated, right? So not every test that I did was kind of a clean run to the bug, right? And that's kind of annoying. We still need the 2 clients for to be able to kill the NPC. Otherwise I will have to kill it manually and it takes me forever. Because we want to kill it exactly at the right time. So when the 2 spells are still active, because otherwise it doesn't happen, right? We need the 2 spells to be active and to be cancelled on death prematurely, and then the bug shows up, right? So it's a bit of it's a very, 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 very specific timing, you know, based on timing kind of bug, and super hard to debug, at least for me. I don't know. I changed the second account to be named PP, so it's a bit easier to, you know, instead of typing a bunch of stuff. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to reproduce exactly our bug exactly the same way, right? So we go here. I'm not changing anything, so I go in range, I prepare my kill NPC, I show myself, right? This guy is casting his armor. Oops, we buffed, yes. I'm casting this one, which you see is going through buffable, right? And buffable is a buffable int, yes. It is a spell modifier, so it's actually correct, right? And now we kill the NPC, right? And all the magic is purged from the character and is deleted in memory and whatever, and the character is deleted after some time, right? So this is what basically happens the first pass, and this never fails. This never fails. Never. Now, apart that sometimes we are crashing randomly when on the second cycle. I think it's probably because the memory is already fucked up somehow, but... So we wait the guy to respawn. Okay, it's there. It's there, fine. We repeat exactly the same sequence, so he's casting the spell. Now, let me see if the buffable now is valid or not. Yeah, the buffable is valid, actually. The buffable is valid. Okay, I'm casting my mind paralyzation now. Yeah, but the buffable seems to be valid also in this case. Fuck. Ha! Again, now we crash in a completely different place, right? That is exactly the one that I was telling you. So in this case, we crashed in page allocation, right? Which is super weird. But it doesn't happen all the time. It happens only sometimes. So here we crashed basically inside Unreal Editor Chaos DLL, which I don't even understand why is actually getting called. So it's a physics. So it's an F3 mesh BVH visit 3, right? But you see, it's allocating and deallocating memory. So that's the point, right? Is deallocating memory in some other part of Unreal Engine, and this reallocation is basically failing. So it looks like we fucked up something in memory, and now, so we deleted something in the wrong place, right? Or something like that. The point is that it never happens in the first run, it happens always in the second run, and usually it happens only on the second spell. But at this point we have nothing to do. We just need to stop and repeat the use case. There's no way. We are stuck at that point, right? We need to repeat it to reach, but the buff seems to be, at least for the first spell. For the second spell, yeah, but also for the second spell, well, it looked like it was a correct buff. Now, now the question is it? Get buffable variable, right? Because in theory, this guy should not have the variable defined, right? Because he's a completely new character. Now, unless something goes wrong and we are wrongly, okay, let me try this idea. I think it's a good idea. Let me see when we go through this if we actually assign a new variable the second run, because the first run I'm sure we are assigning a new variable 100%, right? But I want to see if the second run we are assigning a new variable, or we are reading wrong memory, you know, and we are reusing something that is invalid. Because, by the way, the two spells are doing different things. One is setting blue way resistance, and another is setting azure way resistance. So it's not even that they are the same variable, right? They are really different variables. So yes, they are using the same operation, which is variable int, but they are setting two variables on the character. This bug, boys, I think it's the toughest bug. I mean, we had some pretty bad bugs in the past. We had a few that were really hard, but I think that this one may be the king of the annoying bugs. I think it may be the king. You see, here is adding a new variable, right? He's adding a new variable. So when he does that, he's actually adding a new variable, and he should do it again here. So here he should again, yes, add, you see? So he's adding a new variable to character variable. So character variable at the moment has 5 or so values on this guy, right? So now we kill him. In theory, those variables should go away, but this may be the bug, right? This may be that those variables on him remain, but remain unclean, and so the second time we run and we search it, we get something that is invalid. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I don't have a lot of other ideas. Do you have a game crashing bug? Yeah, we have a very bad server crashing bug because, you know, client crashes are bad, but server crashes are worst because the whole game is going down, right? So I have a server crashing bug that happens only the second time you do something and not the first, and only in very special conditions. Okay, let me see now, right? He's adding a new variable. Yeah, actually he removed the other two, so he's actually adding the variable properly here. And he's a proper buffable, actually. And here, yeah, he's adding a new variable as well. So actually, this part seems to be perfectly correct, actually. This part seems to be perfectly correct. Fuck. And the buffable is a valid buffable, right? Is a spell modifier, so it's perfectly fine. Now, when I try to kill the guy, this is where we crash, right? Exactly. This is where we crash. So even if we added perfectly valid variable in the new clean stack of character variables, we still crash. And so this is the crash. This is the crash that we have, this one. And basically the crash is caused by, I know exactly why it's crashing. I know exactly why, but I don't know what generated this crash. But it's crashing because, hello, who joined? Hey, Unreal Engine. Hello. Hi. Hey, thank you for the raid. Hello, Unreal. Thank you for the follow, guys. Sorry, I was I was focusing on a crash and I didn't see the raid. Hello. Thank you a lot for raiding us. We are working on our game, which is called Plane Shift. It's a pretty old game that was made with another engine before, but we ported to Unreal. And I can show you a bit how the game works. This is a screenshot, for example. It's an MMO, a fantasy MMO, where you can, cast spells and fight, and you have quests, and you have character interaction, and all of that. The world at this point is fairly large, and I can show you a bit of the game since you joined. And then we will continue with our bug hunting. I'm trying to debug a very complex memory bug that happens rarely and is caused by our spell system. Yeah. And I'm chasing it since yesterday and I couldn't really... this seems to be a nice mobile-friendly game. We are not releasing on mobile, but we are releasing on... if you go on our website, Planeshift IT, and you go download, we are releasing on Windows, on Linux, and on Mac. There are not many, many games that are releasing on all three platforms. And yeah, we do that. Not without effort, but we do that. Let me show you a bit of the game if I can log in. At the moment I don't have the whole game loaded because obviously when I'm debugging I'm trying to reduce the number of variables as much as possible, so we don't have all the NPC, all the monsters, all the maps. I have just a subset of everything, and I'm also running on a simplified database, but well, actually the maps, I think we have the majority. Well, we have good number, maybe not all of them, but anyway, that is the character selection. So we have different characters. We have like this winged guy. We have this one that is made of like stone. We have elves, aquatic elves, and normal elves. We have this, which is a very specific race that we have in our game called the Lemur. We have humans and such, and we have other elves. So yeah, You can click on play. This is a screenshot of one of the main cities. There is a chat link for the site. Yeah, for sure. If you scroll down, you just scroll down the Twitch page and you have all the links at the bottom. And yeah, so this is an area where we have a fighting arena, right? And I was actually testing in this area the fight with this guy. And yeah, we have different skills, combat skills. We have different combat moves. We have magic. We have 6 schools of magic. We have crafting in the game, so you can craft different items and stuff. We have a full inventory system working with containers. We even have mini games. Let me see if the minigame works. Yeah. We have minigames with dice that you can truc. I have different type of dice as well. If you want to go fancy with fancy dices, you can shake and boom. That is your result. 54. You can also play 2 people, one against the other. And mini games. We have pets. That follow you. Like, oh, it didn't summon for whatever reason. Anyway, in theory, we have pets, but because I don't have the Ring of Familiar bound to me. Okay. Now, because there is a magical ring that allows you to do that. If you don't have it on, it's not working. Yeah, that's your small pet following you. And your pet can do stuff. You can also speak with your pet. You can speak with your pet and you can teach him stuff. You can teach him a bit. I mean, not a lot, but you can teach him a bit. This one, I think I didn't teach him anything. But you can... the idea is that your pet can do some stuff. In the future, maybe he will grow and he will be able maybe also to carry you as a mount. I don't know. But for now, we have 3 different types of pet, and some can be used as mounts. Yeah, that's pretty much what the game is. So we have a lot of quests in the game already. It's more than 400. We have nearly 500 quests, and yeah, we are a game that exists since many years. If you look back to our history, we are here since ever. Yeah, the graphics are nostalgic because actually the majority of these models are the original models. I mean, there have been some adjustments, right? So like some of the characters has been slightly improved manually by me, but for example, this guy, this little guy is the same model that he was 15 years ago, right? It's exactly the same guy. This rock, for example, is new, right? This rock is new. But, for example, those statues, right? Those statues are the original one. Those statues are, yeah, easily 15 years old, if not 20. It's exactly the same geometry that we had at that time. And yeah, and also this part of the arena is the same geometry. Now the vegetation we improved quite a bit. So thanks to Unreal, you know, we if I go outside for a second of the arena, which is not actually the best place that we have, but the yeah, the vegetation is new. So in the old game you didn't have this vegetation, you didn't have this grass and these bushes, you didn't have all of this, so it is definitely better than what it was in the original game. But the city The city is very, 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 very similar. I mean, these pieces, these houses are pretty much the same. Now, also in the old game, we had a number of iterations, right? So it started, you know, with much lower polygon count, and then we improved it a bit. But still, these houses, I tell you, are fairly old. They have at least, I don't know, 12 years or so. I don't understand, this game is probably older than you. No, it's not older than me. I made it from the beginning, so... It's me that I'm old, yes. The first release of this game was 2002, right? The first release. Not when we started working on it. The first release. And in fact, we have people that are with us as players since the beginning, pretty much. Yeah, there are 4 or 5 towns, there are dungeons. Like if I go below here, I mean, it usually is not that easy to go down, but if I go down, there is a wall. Yeah, now is the FPS is kind of, because it's loading everything that I, yeah. It will fix. Okay, it will fix itself. I did a move that normally you don't do, so I basically force loaded the full underground. But yeah, here there are the sewers, and there's basically a dungeon below the city. Okay, I think that now finally kind of the FPS kind of stabilized, because he had to load a lot of stuff. But yes, here we are in the underground below the city. There are some monsters, there is some stuff to do. It's actually, underground is actually pretty dark. Wait, I think I should stop flying if I want to show you this, but let me stop flying for a second. But anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for the raid, for sure. It's very nice of you. Sorry, I didn't catch the right... I didn't catch the right thing. You know what? I think we're just going to teleport directly in the right place so I can show you. Let's go sewers down here. Okay, here is a good place, for example. Here is a good place, and I will stop my flying, because flying is good, but and then I will just use a torch that I have in one of my boxes, I assume. Yes, there is a torch. Wait. Why cannot I keep it? I have no idea. Because I have the shield on the left hand, the torch goes only on the left hand. Okay, yeah, there is a bit of a, yeah. Okay, so with the torch we can see. So this is basically the sewers part. And you have some monster to fight. Now there are no monsters because I didn't load them up, just to avoid. We have a bit of artificial intelligence. I mean, it's not really intelligent, but you can, but yeah, but you can fight it, they can fight against you. Yeah, we have a lot of people that are with us since a very long time. And yeah. Okay. I gave you a bit of a demo. Now I'm going back to what I was doing, if that's fine with you. But if you have any question, please type them in the chat. I can answer. By the way, we are a no-profit organization, so we do this for fun. It's not that we do it for commercial purposes. My pet is still following me. We do it for fun, we do it as a hobby. But anyway, we managed to basically create a full game, which is nice. I can dismiss my pet. Okay, the bug that we are chasing is a super nasty bug, because it's happening only the second time you cast a certain combination of spells, and only when the NPC is dying, right? Only when the NPC is dying with the spells active on him the second time, right? And basically what happens is a memory corruption somewhere in the engine, and it's a bit random because sometimes it's inside animation, sometimes it's inside a garbage collector, chaos or something, and sometimes it's in the right place, right? Which is here. So we are crashing basically here, and I know exactly why we are crashing. So we are crashing because one of these modifiers is invalid, right? One of these modifiers is invalid. So basically what happens is that this is our guy. Wait. This is our enemy, right? Our enemy has one spell, which is Diamond Skin. And the first time you cast it, he has 2 buffs. One is a multiplier of attack, and the other is a buffable that gives you magic resistance. And by the way, I simplified this case even more because I actually deleted this one. Yeah, I deleted this one, and it's still happening, right? So in the minimum case, you have only one modifier, and the first time works perfectly, the second time crashes, and you can really see. Here is the Visual Studio debug, right? In this part, the time that is okay, you have 2 modifiers which are proper, right? The case that is crashing, the second modifier is garbage memory, right? It's like a pointer pointing bananas, right? Pointing completely bananas. And yeah, so what I'm trying to understand is where in the code we are generating that bananas pointer, because it must be somewhere, and it can be, or consider that this guy is getting killed, right? It's getting killed here, and if I don't kill him, it doesn't happen, right? And when he's getting killed, basically this whole character gets reconstructed from scratch, right? And so the point is, where are we making the memory dirty? And this is what I'm trying to understand. I already spent like 2 hours yesterday. 3 hours yesterday. I couldn't absolutely understand where it was, but I simplified the case so much that now I think we have a better chance, right? It's a very, very nasty bug. One of those bugs that as a programmer you never want to have, really. So what I'm doing in terms of strategy to actually reproduce the bug, I'm logging in with 2 clients. I need one client to be a game master so that I can basically do whatever I want, and I need the second client to be a player. Yeah, this is something maybe that we can also simplify. What if... yeah, let's do this. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, the only problem is that being a game master, I think... Yeah, because the NPC will react differently. We're not attack. No, let's not change the use case now. No, let's not change the use case now. Let's keep it as it is. It's a bit annoying. I just need 2 clients, but it's fine. Let's not change the use case, because otherwise everything changes, and it's a bad idea. Okay, so what I do, I log in with the 2 clients, and with this client on the left, I will just be killing the NPC at the right time. With the client on the right, I'm simulating the bug. I'm simulating the player doing what he needs to do to actually cause the bug, right? So it's going here. This guy sees him. He's casting the spell, a defensive spell on himself. Then this player is casting an offensive spell on him, right? And at this point, we are gonna kill him. Okay? And he's dead. So What happened now is that the fact that is up on the left side is not okay. Ignore that. It should have not happened. But anyway, it previously didn't happen. But so what happened now is that we completely clean when this guy is gonna disappear. We clean completely the memory. We destroy the card. So we do a character destroy, right? With all this stuff, inventory, spells, active spells, buffs, everything that he has, equipment, everything is getting destroyed, right? And then it's getting recreated pretty much from scratch, right? We are using the same code. I mean, it's not exactly the same code, but it's very, very similar. So in theory, now that it's getting... Wait, did we crash? Or... Yeah, we crashed. Okay, so this is the case where the bug is acting weird and is not crashing always in the same place, right? Because now... Yeah. Now I think we had a request exit for an infinite loop on garbage collection. So unfortunately this run is not proving the point. So we have to redo it. This run is not proving the point. This run was useless. Because the bug happens in another place that I cannot control, which is like inside of Unreal in the garbage collector, and GG debugging the garbage collector of Unreal, so I'm not gonna do it, right? So it means though that the memory was already wrong, or we have another bug. Yeah, that I don't know. That I don't know really. But it seems the combination of those two spells, right? Of the defensive spell that the NPC is casting on himself, and of my attack spell, which is anyway affecting his bonuses because is a debuff, right? So he's casting a buff on himself, and I'm casting a debuff on him. And it seems that the combination of those two, only when using a specific debuff type, is causing the crash, right? Because I mean, in game we are launching hundreds of spells every day, right? And it never crashes, right? So it's crashing only in this super specific case, and that is what is making this thing so hard to catch, and also to reproduce, because every time I need to reproduce the bug, you know, I have a lead time of like 4 minutes, because I mean, it's the server that starts up, the two clients, the reproduction of the spell, you know, casting the spell, doing the stuff. But the thing that I see though is that when it doesn't crash in other crazy places, right? When it does not crash in other crazy places, that is fine. That is because I think my character here has an item, a cape, that is giving him a bonus, right? So we can remove all these items, by the way. It's not needed to have them on. Okay, so let's do our thing. So I go here, this guy should see me. He's casting his thing. Did he do it or not? I didn't see the spell coming through. I didn't see the diamond skin. Which is a bit weird, huh? Didn't see the diamond skin, but anyway. So now we let him go. Right? He will despawn, and it will respawn. And the character at that point is completely regenerated. And I check that these variables are actually clean. So the variables are clean. So what? So what I need to check now that we checked that this variable is actually a proper buffable, I think that the second time that we add because here basically we are creating the spell, but then we associate the spell to the character. I think after this add, I will continue, and I want to see. Because this is not adding the spell to the character. It's outside of this that we add the spell to the character. Okay, this guy respawned. So we do the same. We come here. He will see us. He will cast his stuff. Okay. This variable will not be defined, so he's adding a new variable, which is perfectly fine. We go through this. Debuffable is valid. So what I want to see is after this happens, exactly, we are here. I think we may have the issue, right? Because here we are trying to add to the target the active spell, which is the one that then we read and has a wrong memory, right? And you see that here I'm using a weak pointer of a shareable active spell, right? So I created a new shareable pointer, right? And this is what I want to understand when this happens. So at this point, what my character has, at this point, my character, in terms of active spells, right? Active spells, not inside mount, not inside mount. Come on. Okay, target is this one. Target active spell is empty, right? So at the moment it's empty because that was the first that he was trying to cast, right? So he was trying to cast the diamond skin on him the second time, right? And so he has no active spells. And this is correct, right? And here we are gonna add that active spell to him. So what I see diamond skin, I see our modifier, and I see that our modifier is actually valid, right? This is valid, so in theory this should not crash, right? Because it is a valid. Yeah, so I think that what we need to debug actually, you know what, is this piece. We need to see if when we are adding back the spell the second time, we are getting on our target. Yeah, let's debug here. I think this is the right place, boys. It's the right place. We need to check if after this line, the second time, we corrupted memory. But I think if not, right, then I think it may be something different. It may be the garbage collector running, destroying the wrong objects and causing the issue. And this means that probably one of our shared pointers is not valid or is not properly set up, right? So there are two things that may happen. One, we mess up the second time, right? So the second time we do something and we actually mess up the memory. This is one case. The second case is that we mess up immediately, but we don't know it until the garbage collector runs, collects that wrong share pointer, and then corrupts memory, and then we find it wrong the second time by chance, right? I'm leaning more the second option, actually, seeing that sometimes it's crashing in kind of random places. But this would be tough, because if this is the case, I think I need to read again very closely the t-share pointer thingy and ensure that I really do it right, because maybe some problem that we generate already when instantiating the first share pointer. And I think that, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that at the moment. Because otherwise it would make no sense that sometimes he's doing it, sometimes he's not doing it, right? Okay, it did his spell. I'm doing mine. So I want to see now. Okay. I want to see now if I already fucked up the memory of this guy or not, right? Target spell, null. No, they are both share pointer, active spell 1, active spell 1. So they are both good, actually. Are they pointing to the same memory or what? No, they are pointing to different memories. So in theory... And unfortunately we timed out because it took me too much to look at the data. But the only difference is that this one is a cancel event. The second one does not have a cancel event. The second one does not have a cancel event. Wait a second. The second one does not have the cancel event. The cancel event is added by who? The cancel event... This could be a thing, this could be a thing, but this could be a thing. This could be a thing. How is it possible that the second doesn't have a cancel event? The second does not have a cancel event. Where can I find this in the code? I see there is a part of the add active spell. Yeah. So yeah, basically here we are adding the spell, right? But the point is, I don't remember. I don't remember. Cancel on death. This may be the right. This may be the right path. We need to understand 1 second. How is this cancel event set, right? Register cancel event. I see it. If we need a cancel event, then create the timer. Register cancel event. Who is deciding? Who is deciding? Register cancel event. Who is deciding if this spell has a cancel event? Applicative script apply. Okay, applicative script apply. This is when we do the run.
Everything will be fine. Don't worry.
I hope so. This is basically when we run. Okay. Okay, so we decided that, so based it's based on the type of operation. Every operation you see here, apply true, right? This apply true, it means that this guy is a cancel event. So it means that the difference between let me just check one thing then. Apply. No, wait a second. Run apply. The one on the left is the spell that does not crash, and the one on the right is the one that crashes. So I'm just trying to understand, but this one is not doing the run at the higher level. Is not. So basically we are not applying anything. No, but it's impossible. Wait a second. I think we go through apply from add. I think it's inside of this. This part of the code is not very very easy, boys, unfortunately. Because he's doing only the push. He's not adding the cancel event. No, because when we cancel, right? When we cancel, we are checking on the cancel action, right? Even if we crash already before this, right? We crash before this. So in theory may have nothing to do. But there is a cancel action, right? There is a cancel action. Basically, our second spell, the one that crashes, does not have any cancel action. But maybe it's fine, you know? Maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm chasing a ghost. Maybe I'm chasing a ghost. Yeah, so basically this action will be null. Will be null in our case. Yeah, bro, but if it's null, do we add it as null? I don't want to add it as null, though. I want not to add it. If it's null, it should not be added, I guess. Okay, let's try that 1 second. Because anyway, that would be anyway a good fix. Because if I have a null cancel action, I should not add it to this array, right? Because anyway, it makes no sense to add a null values if it's not gonna. I still don't understand why we don't have a cancel action on mind paralyzation. Why mind paralyzation does not have? We can test it directly without doing the full test, right? I can just cast mind paralyzation on him. And it will go through this, and the cancel action will probably be null, right? It doesn't look like there is an event handler for the spell event. The events looks like there is a couple with a control flow. Not sure if I understand the problem fully. Yeah, unfortunately this code is very complex because it's also long for me to explain to you, but basically we have a buffable system, right? So everything, so your character has basic characteristics like strength, will, and whatever, right? But every one of those characteristics can be buffed by items or spells, right? And you never know the type of buff. Certain buffs can be multipliers, other buffs can be additions, other can be debuffs, right? So there is a super class that is buffable, that is having a number of subclasses that are the type of buffs and debuffs that you can have, right? And so, in plus, just to make things more complex, all our spells are scripts, right? Because we have a scripting language like this one that we use to write our spells, right? So whenever you cast a spell, a lot of stuff happens, right? I mean, this script is pre-interpreted into like a meta language that we have inside a game that is like it's called mat script, which is basically a pre-parsed, the script is pre-parsed, right? Just to be executed faster, because we don't want every time we cast a spell to actually have to parse an XML, right? So the XML is pre-parsed, we create all the functions needed and all the operations needed. And then when you cast the spell, the only thing that the game does is to basically execute a number of pre-digested operations, right? And one of those pre-digested operation is the buff, right? Is the buff that is added on top of the player statistics, right? So it's a very complex part of the code. Probably I would say the most complex after the quest system and the natural language parsing and all of that, right? That is another kind of demon area of our code that I don't want to touch. But the point is that it's working, in 99.9% of the cases. This is the only crash that we have, right? At the moment, is the only crash that we have in game. There is a bit consistent. It happens only on that NPC, and only when that NPC is buffing himself, and you are casting a debuff on him. So it's happened very rarely, but still it happens. Right? And so when that happens, the server goes down because it's a server crash. So every player is getting out, and I mean, it's really, really bad. And not that we have many players, but still, it's kind of annoying. So my point is, if I do this, apart from this part that I don't really care, okay. Cancel
pleasures for a simple man.
Actually, the cancel action is here. NPC stop. So why before what? Why before we had the cancel action is empty? Because cancel action was a null pointer. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, we have a bit of a weird cancel action, if you ask me, because there is a debug NPC command that we have in the code that I don't even know if we need it. Ah, yes. No, because this is, I think, the actual freeze. This is the actual freeze, huh? And the undo is the cancel action. Okay, so yeah. So I think really? No, I don't think so. I think that the freeze is this. I think that the freeze is actually this. I don't think that with the cancel action we have. I don't think that with probably the cancel action is not the right path. Gotta nerf the NPC. Yeah, we can remove some spells, so it cannot do anything. Is there a way to expose the script data while it's passed? Yeah. The script is transformed in operations, right? And so when we go through, we are executing the variable op. So these are all our operations, like combat mode op, create familiar op, destroy op. These are all operations, which is the way that the engine internally is storing our XML operations, right? So for example, here is giving you -2 charisma, right? -2 multiplied by damage charisma, right? So you're losing charisma. And here you are losing will, and so on. So this operation will be, this XML will be converted into a stats op, right? Into a stats op that when run, is doing what it needs to do. So it's basically removing, it's changing the buffable and is removing will or charisma from you. So we can see what the script is doing just by looking at the operation that is executing, right? And so at the end, it's easy to follow. Let's say the problem is that is happening kind of randomly, and this is what I'm struggling a bit to catch, right? I'm struggling to catch that. I'm struggling to catch. The only thing that I know and that I'm sure of is that when we have the crash, the modifier inside active spells, so inside my character, that is to say the target character, so it's the NPC, right? Inside the target character is active spells on death have one modifier that is garbage memory. This is what I know. That is the only thing that I know, because that happens all the time when we crash. That particular modifier is garbage memory, and so the crash happens because we go here, we try to cancel, we go modifier cancel, and this modifier is garbage memory, right? It's not null, unfortunately, because if it was null, that was super good. It's not null, right? Because we are checking for null. But it's not null, it's garbage. And so the engine tries to execute this and is not finding the cancel function, and I would say it would not find any other function, right? And is crashing. Because this modifier inside our character, inside active spells, is garbage, right? And it is not happening the first time the character is getting killed. It's happening only the second time, for whatever freaking reason. And so what I was trying to do, I was trying to go the sequence, right? The sequence is, I go close with this character, I will go close it, I cast this, right? And what I've proven is that up to this point, we are in an okay situation. Up to this point where my second character is casting Mind Paralyzation, the modifiers, these two modifiers, are actually both valid. So something happens between this and the kill of the NPC and the NPC respawning, right? And us doing the thing again. And my fear is that is the garbage collector randomly deleting stuff due to the fact that I set up some delete wrong or whatever, and so it's deleting the wrong one. I don't know. That is my biggest fear, right? Because if it's a bug in the code, fine, but if it's a bug that is generated by the garbage collection, GG finding it. GG finding it, boys. Okay, so let's redo, because I think we are going forward, okay? We are a bit slow, but we are going forward, meaning that now we are at the second run, when the spell is getting added again, to the NPC, and we want to see if that addition is garbage memory or not, right? This is what I want to see again, because we couldn't do it, because then I started, it was the raid, and I started to explain everything, and no, the raid was very good. Thank you again. I mean, at the end we will win, but this one seems to be a tough one. I mean, it seems really to be one of the bugs that is like, nah. You're not gonna catch me. Nah. You're not gonna catch me. And we have this bug since 1 year. No, since the beginning. I think since a lot of time. But I never dedicated time to it, because I knew it was a mess. And I decided, okay, I will do it one day. And that day is today. Well, today, let's say this week, because I feel that I still think we should not add an empty action anyway. You see, here we have a valid share pointer, right? There is something else, by the way. There is the character loading. Oh fuck, I'm in front of him. I think when I'm in front of him, he's acting a bit differently, though. You see? When I'm in front of him, he's not really casting his diamond skin. He's starting the spell and then he's stopping. Then I have no idea why it happens, but that's a problem for another day. You see? If I spawn in front of him, things go south in another way. So we should be sure that we are not spawning in front of him. I mean, I can kill reload him, and I can... Okay. Let me do something slightly different. It should never be done, but... Okay, he's new. In theory, he's new. In theory, he's new now. So he's another guy. Why? Okay, now he did it. Okay, he did it. We do our cast. He gets the spell. We define a new variable. At this point, I have both share pointer valid. So everything is good. If I kill him now, we will not crash. Right? So I kill him. We go through the same code that in theory is crashing, but you see now the server didn't crash. Because those 2 pointers are good. Okay? Now this guy will respawn again. And I would just hide a bit so that I don't spawn in front of him, because when I spawn in front of him there is something else happening. So... yeah, it takes a bit, blah blah blah. Yeah, you see? There is another thing. So here we crashed in a place that is not a normal place. Here we crashed in a place that is not a normal place. And this crash is impossible to debug, because I think it's not the right crash, by the way. This crash is this. Look at this monster. So we are inside the engine loop tick, right? Which has nothing to do with us. I mean, it's running all the time, obviously. We are trying to execute a timer unified delegate, which can be anything in the game, because we have millions of timers running at the same time. And for whatever reason, this delegate this delegate for the timer is crashing because whatever, this pointer is GG, or I don't know exactly why, but you know, so this is when I say that I feel that there is something happening in between, right? There is the garbage collection doing some, because it's impossible, you know, the same case, we crash in a different place. Unreal crashes where you cannot process events in time. Yeah, I know that you mean because we were in debug mode. We took too much time in debug, and so we passed the time of the timer, and so the timer couldn't execute, and so it's getting annoyed by that. I mean, if that's the case, I'm super happy. I mean, I'm fine. If that's the case, I'm super happy, meaning that it's not what I'm thinking. I mean, I know the timer at 0 are a problem, because we had that issue already in the past, that that we have like a weapon that has 0 speed, it should not, and we try to time the attack, and we create a timer with 0 timing, and Unreal Engine goes crazy. Probably initialize memory. Yeah, it's very possible, developer. It's very, very possible. There is uninitialized memory. The problem is how the hell do I find it? And why is working in all the other cases, right? Why every spell in the game works, right? And even if I'm not casting Mind Paralyzation on him, it works. It's only when I cast my debuff on top of his buff that we get the error. I mean, I can change the spell, you know, I can have the spell do something else. I can have the spell do something else. I don't know, at the end I will do this. I mean, it's better than a server crash. But the problem is that if this happens now, it may happen again in the future. So I really need to find the root cause, and because if I don't find the root cause, it may happen again. You know, we create a new spell that does something different, and GG crash is starting to crash, and we never get out of this kind of worms. So, but it's possible that I stay too much on the debug, and that, okay, this guy started already because I spawned in front of him. GG. Spawning in front of him is so annoying, but I'm gonna kill him anyway. But I don't know if this run is a good run, because I was spawning in front of him, and a mess happened. In theory, he cast the spell and I cast the spell, so to me it looks identical to our test case, but it may not be. Okay, so now he died. He will respawn. He will respawn. Hopefully we don't crash in a random place in the engine. Hopefully. What is the guy? Okay, the guy's here. The guy's here. Okay, what I want to check this time? I want to check that the 2 spells are valid. I mean the second ones though, not the first one. The first one I don't care. The second spell. So I will let him cast his spell. Hello? I'm here. Hello? Fuck. Hello, man? Do you love me? Hello? Okay, we already crashed, that's why. We already crashed. Ah, now I can show you another very, very nice one. Okay, there is another crash that obviously happens only due to this bug. So it doesn't happen ever. It happens only when I do this sequence. And it is the best of the best. And you need to see this. No, you need to see this. You need to see this because this is fantastic. Okay, the server now is in a loop mode. And it will never get out. It's in an infinite loop at the moment. It's in an infinite loop. If I stop it, he's executing exactly these 3 lines. I saw it already in the previous runs, which is the memory collection, which is inside heap page collection, garbage conditional collect garbage, purge garbage. Okay, so is the garbage collector running, and he's staying inside this while forever. So basically, this process never terminates, never. So it means there is kind of a circular reference in the pointers of the stuff that he needs to delete, which is absolutely crazy. But that's the way it is. I can let it run for 10 minutes. It will always stay here, and if I stop, it will always be on this line. If I break, it will always be here. So what it looks like, you know, that in that combination, that is very wild. Yeah, it's very wild. I think I never saw something like this. So I think that what happens is that we manage to fuck up the memory so much that or the engine runs, or the engine crashes in a random place, or it goes into this infinite loop. No, but I think it's our fault. I think it's our fault. I mean, in theory, you should never do it anyway, but I think it's our fault. I think I'm deleting. I mean, I think. So this is what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying is, oh my God, the white. What I'm saying is, we run our test case 1, okay, which is spell kill. Okay, this is spell kill NPC, right? We run this, then we run it again, right? Then we run it again, and here we have the crash. Right, and here we have the crash, and this is when it runs clean. When I manage to reproduce the crash clean, and I can do it sometimes, not all the time, but I can do it sometimes, right? And when this happens, is because this second spell here has one of the 2 modifiers that is garbage memory, but there are other times, like the one that we have seen now, that even before, so here, even before running the second case, we crash in stupid places. We go crazy for garbage collection. There is a crash in animation, something, whatever, you know, that never happens. So my theory at this point is that we do something wrong here, right? Because it's impossible that the engine is just randomly crashing. It never happens. Normally, it never happens. It never happens. Never. And I mean, our game is up 24/7, right? And I don't have any of these crashes. I have them only when we do this. So, or the random crashes, you know, or the random crashes are something else, but I would say it's very unlikely. or the random crashes are generated already, like this one, you know, by this sequence. So this sequence is already a killer, right? This sequence is already a killer. Even if it doesn't crash here, you know what we can do? We can do this sequence, and then we can let, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's just do that sequence, and let's not do the second one. And let's see if it's always crashing. And I think that the answer will be yes. In random places, right? But I think it will. What about the design of test case 1 is leading you? What about the design of test case 1 is leading you to think is the culprit? You mean what I mean, do you mean why I think that is test case 1? I think it's case 1 because whenever I execute this test case 1, there are two outcomes, you know. There are two outcomes. Or I go here and then I crash, or I crash. You know? So there is no other outcome. But I'm trying to validate now this, okay? I'm trying to validate now this. That we always crash, okay? Because that's my theory. That we always crash. So I will log in with one client. I don't even need to be two clients. I can be one client only. Right? One client only. Just to prove that theory, right? Is it logging? Please. Okay. So I log in only with this character, with this guy. We just do the no, I need to kill him though. No, wait. I need to log in also with the other guy because I need to kill him. And only the other guy can kill him. Because he's a game master. I mean, can kill him with a command. So... Okay, we are in. Okay, we are in. I prepare my kill NPC. Okay, so I go here. He's casting his spell on me. No, on himself, sorry, because it's a defensive spell. It's a defensive spell. Okay, he's casting the stuff on him. I cast my spell on him. Okay, I go quick in the debug. We don't want to stop the timers or anything. And now I kill him, okay? So this is case number 1. Okay? Now we play the game. We don't do anything else. We just, I don't know, we chill. We can do whatever we want. I don't know. I mean, I go here. I open my inventory. Well, let me just go in a place where this guy will not attack me again. But I open my inventory. I move few items. I don't know. I drop an item to the ground. I pick up the item. I want to trigger the garbage collection, obviously. That is what I'm trying to do. I can cast a spell on me, maybe. I can cast, I don't know, can I cast Flame Spire, whatever? Okay, unfortunately this one is anyway a spell, right? But I cast Flame Spire on me. I go around a bit. I don't know what I can do. I use the torch. I drop the torch. I play the mini game. But actually it's not crashing though. Huh? It seems that it's not crashing though. I was really thinking it would. I was really thinking. It's not crashing. So use case 1 is not enough. Use case 1 is not enough. I mean, it's true that I'm not doing much, right? So if the garbage collection needs memory, now I summon my pet. I don't know, maybe my pet can crash things. Cannot. My pet can crash. I mean, it's running. It's perfectly running. I mean, I can... I don't know what else I can do. Can cast more spells. I can trade, I don't know. Let's trade with this guy. I can trade with this guy. Give him items. I don't know. What do you need, bro? I can give you a mushroom. No, I can give you 4 mushrooms. Do you like them? Yeah. And you see the game is not crashing. Hello, Video Nomad. Hi. In fact, it's not. In fact, it's not. It seems that it's crashing when we tickle again, you know, that part of the code. Could you force GC to run? I don't know. Is there a command? Maybe there is. On the server side, I need it though. I can console only on the client. Is there a command to force garbage collection on the server side without console? I don't think so. I can, if it's this, I can put it in a key. I mean, I can put a random, you know, I press a key and it does it. Server side, I can do that. Collect garbage. Because it seems it's not crashing, right? Okay, now we execute the second part. Let's execute the second part, right? But okay, we did quite a bit, it didn't crash. Let's execute the second part. I'm here. The guy, look at me. He cast his spell. I cast mine. And now I kill him. And now we crash. Holy fuck, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't. How we didn't? How? Because a lot of time passed between the two? What happened? I think we had our we did not crash. We had our thingy. The only thing that I'm thinking is, wait a second, wait a second. Why we didn't see the? That's a bit strange, huh? We didn't see the debug for spell cancellation. Why? I have a debug. I have a debug. Where was that debug? Not here. I had so it looks like if enough time passes, the bug is not happening. Is it true? If enough time passes, the bug is not happening. Wow. How much time is enough time? How much time is enough time? And now we crash. This is the crash, huh? This is the crash. This is the one. This is the one. And so now we crashed, right? We did exactly the same thing. And we crashed. What is the difference? The difference that before we waited like, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, going up and down, jumping, dropping items, right? So then maybe you can gate the action so it doesn't run until the other is complete. No, I cannot. You have a timer related crash. I have millions of timers in the game. Millions. Consider that every 200 milliseconds, right? Every 200 milliseconds, that NPC is doing stuff in his mind. You know, it's like thinking. Every 200 milliseconds is thinking, is looking at what he has around, is thinking, you know, what he should do. And so, yeah, it's possible, but how can I debug timers or something? So how can I proceed from here? So this is the crash. Here we are inside the NPC that we just killed, right? Here we are inside the NPC that we just killed, and what happens is NPC active spells, modifiers. Well, actually, wait. Active spells, diamond skin, which is one of the spells, right? Active spells, diamond skin, modifiers, and then inside modifier, active spell, modifiers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, it's not correct. No, this one is impossible. Yeah, it's not correct. We are not looking at the right frame. It's impossible. Wait. No, because here it looks like it's okay, right? It's not garbage memory, but it is here, right? It is here. So I think I'm not looking at the... Yeah, exactly. It is here. So here, this thing, target active spell, is a local watch that is not correct. Yeah, exactly. There is the modifier. And you see this modifier... No, but this modifier is actually a nice spell modifier. Why I cannot see what it is? Why I cannot see what this, because usually here I did not add the spell modifier on the left, right? But now I have it. Why I cannot see what is this guy, you know? Because this guy is not a null pointer, but also is not a normal modifier, because all modifiers, you see, there is a superclass, all modifiers have cancel as a, they only have one virtual function, which is cancel, right? They only have one virtual function, is cancel. So all of them have it. There's no way, right? Because it's required. So this modifier that we crashed now, I'm saying is garbage memory because it doesn't have the, I mean, it's crashing on calling cancel. Wait, I can compare it to, wait. I have the screenshot, I have the screenshot. Yeah, you see, it's a bit small, but I have the screenshot. When it's correct is like this, right? You see the modifier and you see like cached 1, buffs 1, base 0, buffs 1. You see variables because this thing is a valid object, right? When it's broken, it's like this, without nothing, right? Without nothing. So it cannot be interpreted because it's not a valid object, it's not a valid subclass. And it's exactly what it is now, right? It's not a valid subclass. You have no information here. The spell and the timer mix, all I can think of is we seem to have done all this, but to find the correct issue. The best option you can do, wait, it is random every time, stack trace. Well, when I reach, hello by the way, Sterny WW. When I manage to reproduce my case properly, and I have the same on the Linux machine, I mean, this is a Windows machine, but I have the same in production, on my production machine. Actually, in production is a bit more consistent, and is always crashing with the same stack trace. Always the same stack trace, which is this one, right? Which is this one. If you want to see it better, is this, but it's really always crashing like this. So I kill the NPC. That is the command that is killing the NPC. I do damage, okay, to kill him. So basically I remove all his HP. I handle a death event. The death event is canceling all the spells that he has on, which is this one, cancel active spell. And then we enter into that function where for every spell active at the moment of death, we are calling cancel, right? And cancel on each of the modifiers, right? So if it was a buff, is removing the buff and so on. And when we experience the bug, one of the modifier as this invalid memory, right? And it is very consistent. It is very consistent. Like in production, is only crashing like this. Only. I never had other weird crashes. The difference is that there is a shipping build, so there are some different shipping build, like, you know, the assers are not triggered, and I mean there is, it's very different build, right? And it's on Linux, but this one is the same stack trace, same lines that I have now reproduced on Windows as well, right? You will need to pass -stomp malloc to your launch arg if you want to find what's messing your memory. You might need a debug editor. That I think I never did. Can you teach me how to do it? Can I do it on Windows or is only on Linux? Should I pass it as a parameter to my server? Working on Windows. Okay, nice. This will produce additional debug or... Okay, now the server is running with that parameter. Maybe from the log we can check if it's rebuilding. Oh, wait. No, it's not rebuilding. I never used it. I never used it. We can check the log. This is the log. Stomp malloc. So in the command line, we see it. Stomp malloc. So it's been passed through. Has been passed through. So okay. So the server is loading up. So will this generate something in the log, or where? In 2015 they wanted to integrate it, and now it's integrated. Yeah. How does it actually work? Where are the logs saved? Since the allocation of each looked page where is some memory, the game will assert and you can see where the stomp occurs. It doesn't actually work, so you will see potentially two things happening while it's enabled. Memory use will skyrocket, and in doing fact have a stomp, you get an assert at that location. Very nice. Okay, so in theory it should crash. I mean, the server should stop when we hit a memory problem. Yeah, but we may hit a million others, I guess, but okay, let's see. So I'm redoing my test case, right? I'm redoing my test case. We already stopped. We already stopped. Okay. Yeah, because okay, it may have stopped in some of my tests because I'm actually doing very weird tests at the beginning. How do I know? Okay, it crashed in bunch of tests. Interesting though. Interesting. Yes, here I have a function where I'm basically testing weird stuff in Unreal, like conversion to tchar, not tchar, and there is some stuff that is actually doing damages by purpose, because I was testing stuff that is doing damages. So my suggestion is, just to avoid wasting time, we disable temporarily my bunch of tests, and we disable also my more bunch of tests, because I think there is another one at the end of the loading. Bunch of other tests is already disabled. Okay, yeah, that is something that can mess up the memory quite a bit, because I do weird stuff that I wanted to test, like I created I substitute an XML3, I substitute attributes, I try to do stuff that just to test how the code works. But it's interesting that it stopped there, so actually catch the bit of mess. But now, you know, if he's doing that on our whole game, oh my god, there may be a million places then. I gotta get going. Hello, Fight, bye. See you. Thank you for stopping by and yeah. I stream pretty much every day, so with few exceptions, like tomorrow evening, but I stream pretty much every evening. Most of my free time is going into this thing. So yeah, we have a Discord as well. You can join there. Okay, so now basically what we are probably going to learn is all the places where we have a problem. And I assume that it can be many, many, many. But it's a good thing. I can fix them. I mean, if we know where, I can fix them. Our server is doing a bunch of stuff, I tell you. It's doing a million things at startup. It's loading all the quests, all the NPC path, all the dialogues, I mean, it's doing a million things. All the rules, all the crafting, all the so the startup is serious stuff. It's really serious stuff. So I would already be happy, you know, if it goes through the full startup without giving any trouble. Without giving any error. I see it's extremely slower though, but it's fine. If he's doing his checks, I'm fine. I have to remember this parameter. Can put in our wiki. Somewhere. Real Engine programming. I think I had a performance thingy. No, I had it's not here. Profiling optimization. Yeah, I can put it here. Catching memory leaks. Add -stomp alloc to the startup to the command line. Okay, it's loading up. It's very slow compared to normal, but it's fine. Is loading crafting at the moment. Is loading dialogues now. Is loading NPC. Luckily, we only have one loaded, so I'm loading only one NPC. Is loading navigations. Is loading weather. Is loading behaviors. Is loading tribes, but there are 0. Is loading recipe. It's loading a bunch of stuff. I think with 2 clients, I don't know if we'll hit the memory. Yeah, I think we will. It seems to be using a lot more memory. Like a lot. So I don't know if I can run 2 clients together with the, I mean, it will swap a lot to disk because we are already at 32 gigabytes. And usually it's not taking that much. But anyway, it started up, so the server is up. It's loading maps. But I don't know if I can run 2 clients on top of this, considering that I'm also streaming. We can try. I can add more memory to this PC, but usually at 32 I'm pretty good. I can close Blender. Maybe. I can close Battle.net, maybe. I can close the other Visual Studio that I don't need. Time to download more RAM. I can put 64, is not a problem. This is my main PC, so I can buff it. I never needed it, but I can close Steam. No, I cannot. It's really going slow now. Really, really slow. It's loading levels. He's using 16 gigabytes. Wow. Okay. Fine. My 2 other clients are using only 1.7. But they are not in the 3D world, so they will load stuff. I think we are nearly there. I mean, it's going very, very slow. The loading of the levels is going super slow. I have 32 megabytes. Cool. I can buy another 32 easy. It's just that I never really needed. But this seems to be a good case. In theory I could run the 2 clients from another machine, right? But I'm not. 32 megabytes is a lot. I don't know if it's a lot. I mean gigabytes, yes. Not megabytes. Okay. The server is up, and for now it didn't crash. The question is, do you think I will be able to reach my point? Of the test case? So in theory, the server should stop, right? Should crash. Yeah, I need to go further here though. My machine is really suffering. I hear it. I see it. My machine is really suffering a bit. Yeah, it's taking forever to load in. Okay, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We are in. We are in. We are in. We are in and the server didn't crash yet. So it means that our game is good, huh? Up to now, didn't crash the server. So up to now, everything is good, huh? Okay, we kill him. This is the first run. Ah! 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 He crashed already in the first time. He crashed at the first run. It never happened before. It never happened before, huh? He did it in the first run, so wait a second. So what does this tell me actually? What does this tell me? So I see here in the editor, right, that is saying warning. No, warning, okay, is saying exception thrown, read access violation. Modifier was 2x, blah, 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 right? So basically what he's saying is that already now, this modifier is fucked. Yes, in fact it is. In fact it is. In this case, it happened the first time. So it happened at the first run. It never happened to me the first run. So maybe it's this command that is like doing more checking, but it happened here. While usually it was happening here. Right? It happened already the first time. But now the question is, how do I know why? So I'm basically in the same spot as before. I like thank you, but I mean, like, why this modifier is wrong? This cancel will never be called because this modifier doesn't have a cancel on. Because this modifier is a garbage memory. So he's trying to call a function, right? He's trying to call a function on garbage memory. What cancel does anyway is removing from an array of buffs. I don't know exactly what I don't remember what he's doing exactly, but is removing from the buffs. Count backward since we are deleting the things may shift from the right. Yeah. I mean, we are counting backward because it is an array, right? This thing is but I don't think that cancel is getting called at all. Also because cancel depends on which subclass we call it on, right? In this case, I think it's a buffable. Yeah, I think it's a buffable. So is that one that you open actually? It should be a buffable. Because it's a bit different between, you know, the different... no, actually it's this one. Because this one is where we have the debug. Yes, I added this debug. So in theory, it's this one that we are calling when we crash. In theory. But we didn't see it. So I don't know if he's calling this one or the other one. But anyway, he never reaches it. It's basically getting this buffs array. This buff array is a t pair of const. This thing is a bit weird, huh? This thing is a bit weird. But I think it's the way we need it. I mean, it's the way we have to, because the T is our buffable, right? So we don't know which class is it. So it's a template class, is a template thingy, right? And I don't know these cons though, but fine. Probably a T pair requires it. I don't know if the T pair is a good idea here though, but I need a T pair. I mean, I need a active spell and T. Even if active spell is, so here we are in yeah, this part of the code is a mess, I tell you. This part of the code is complex. This part of the code is complex. So a buffable is a subclass of spell modifier. Spell modifier is the template that we use pretty much for everything, right? For all the buffs, for all the spell modifiers. Now, do I ever do a new in this code? I don't do a new anywhere here. Give me your best advice on being productive. Very easy. You have to type redeem, just do it. You do that and everything works. Type this, exclamation mark, redeem, just do it. Try this. And if the bot of YouTube works, no, but it's very interesting that he stopped already the first time. That is very, very interesting. It's like if, but it didn't, you know.
Just do it.
Exactly. Just do it. That is what you have to do to be productive. Don't think to anything else. Just do it. Just do it. And you are productive. Like if nothing else exists. It's usually what I do. Okay. Okay, so maybe this T pair is going crazy. I mean, this is a bit of a weird structure, I know, but it is what I need. I need an array of active spells and my buffs, right? This is what I need. Active spell and my buffs. This is what I need. So in this cancel that I think we never executed, by the way. We never executed because we didn't even kill the guy. We are taking this buff. So let me read this, okay? Because I think it's a bit weird. We are counting backward because in an array. So we want to remove from the array only from the end, right? And this is what this thing is doing. Now we are checking if the buff key is equal to the owner, where the owner is me, right? Because this thing is getting called with this. You know what is a bit scary? Well, you know what is a bit scary that I've seen other times? That trying to pass the current class as a pointer to something to let me do this. Let me do this and see if it compiles. Because I remember that I had a similar problem, now that I think about it. I had a similar problem that I was passing this to remove active spell. And that was actually doing a mess. And so, because this was not working for whatever reason, because it was a T-weak pointer of something. So I had to pass, you see what I'm doing here? This thing is crazy, I think, right? Because I'm passing myself as a parameter, right? Just to use it here. Because if I just say this, it's not gonna work. Because this guy needs a T-weak pointer, and I was not able to regenerate it as a T-weak pointer from inside this function. And it is why I have this crazy thing. Maybe it's this crazy thing that is fucking up everything. At least should fix a bug. If invalid spell, then go from there. Yeah, something is not cancelled cleared properly. But you know what? I can even remove... I mean, if it happens at the first run, I can even remove this call. And here I have the same problem. And here I have the same problem that I had here. Here I have the same problem that I had here. Because this one, I already modified it due to this issue. Because this one was requiring a T-weak pointer. Otherwise, this was not working. I mean, I can modify also this one. It's not a problem. The problem is that if I modify this one, it's GG everywhere. Because this is not crashing. Okay, let me try this 1 second. Okay, let's try to do... Anyway, we have everything on Subversion, so... Let me try... Obviously. Okay, I know. But you don't like it. It's under buffable. Cancel! I know! Oh my god. Is under buffable. So now basically I will have to change. Let me recompile. But that is a mystery to me, eh? I mean, there is a mystery of why I cannot, from inside a class, create a weak pointer to myself. I know, it feels weird. Yes, exactly. I agree. I agree. But I arrived there because I needed to operate on a weak pointer, because that is actually a weak... Because if I don't do it as a weak pointer, we crash in a million other cases, because that thing gets invalidated, you know, and so I need to have it as a weak pointer. Okay, now... okay, wait a sec, because now... Yeah, because buffable is fucked. Yeah, because buffable... Okay, we're gonna do this change, boys. We're gonna do this change and we see what happens, okay? We're gonna do this change and it's not, I don't know, I think I have to change a million things, but I don't see another way. Now the cons will make me mad. I know already that this change will make me go crazy. I'm sure. Because now I changed this, but now owner will not work anywhere here anymore. So I will have to change this and this and this and this and this and the pair. And the pair needs to be a T-weak pointer. And GG my life. GG my life. Yeah, we have to change a million things. And probably the initializer will not work. The initializer will not work with a weak pointer. And boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. These changes, but I did the same for another function that was crashing. I did the same. I remember it now, right? Which is just 2 lines below, right? Or 3 lines below. And it was crashing due to just a variable being deleted and the cancellation happening through a trigger later on, and you know. And I think here we are in a similar situation. And so my feeling is that if it worked for the other line, it may work for this as well. The problem is that the branches of this change are fairly big. Because now, yeah, obviously, right, this pair shit is saying, nah, I'm not. And this guy's saying, no, I'm not. And this guy's saying, no. Oh my god. That is GG. That is the end of our life. Right here. Oh my god, all these functions are gonna change. Oh my god. All the initializers. All the initializers, boys, are gonna change. Buffable. We have 3. We have buffable, we have multiplier, we have overridable. You know, but maybe it will magically work. Maybe we'll what I'm doing? I'm pasting shit. What I'm doing? What I'm doing? I'm pasting without a piece. Oh my god. Are you serious? Fuck it. I am. I am pasting without a piece. Holy shit. Are you serious? Are you serious? These ones also will have to change, right? Oh my god. Oh my god, I really pasted without a piece, boys. I really did it. I really did it. I really did it in a million places. Okay, should be okay. But if it works, it works. They might not be the real fix. You think so? May not be a real fix, huh? Hey, but I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how to go to the root of the problem. What I tried to say, okay, at a certain point in the code, I am generating this invalid pointer, right? And so I basically step debugged, you know, I step debugged through this sequence, right? Through this sequence, through say this sequence, right? Run case one, blah 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 blah. And I said, okay, where in the sequence I am generating that wrong pointer, right? But I never find it because it happens. It doesn't happen in any of these places. And this is what is weird. Only at the end, when we crash, there is that wrong pointer, but before it doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know. Huh. There are certain things that are just weird. But in theory there is I mean, for sure there is a reason. It's just that I don't know how to easily find it. Silly talent. It's not easy to find. I don't know. I mean, I cannot even say, you know, I cannot even say if garbage memory don't do that line. Welcome to CPP. You know, I'm kind of used to it at this point, but what it doesn't like here. Yeah. I need to pin again, eh? Pin key. Pin key. Starting to be late, boys. Is more than midnight for me. Is midnight 19. Need to work tomorrow as usual. Why is it taking so much time to compile? Weird. This guy's still complaining though, huh? He's saying that this is no member pin. Ah, fuck it. Sorry, I messed up, I guess. Yeah. The pin was in the wrong place. The pin was in the wrong place. But I think we did changes already to the majority of the places. It's not, I mean, it's not really everywhere, right? So it's fairly contained, I think. There may be 1 or 2 more places, but I don't think it's that invasive in our code. So I think we should see the results soon. There may still be few places, but it's not hundreds. I think if it is like 4 or 5, maximum 10. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Same thing. I hope that these loops are still working as they should, but in theory I should just substitute everywhere, but also overridable? Overridable, I think it was not. Yeah, but it is, because it's a child of spell modifier, so also overridable. Yeah. So you are saying, personally, I would say that the only reason why I love Rust, but I would say Unreal Engine is already helping you a lot on that. Our problem is that this code comes from before Unreal, right? And so this code, I mean, if I look at the buffable, let me see this guy, Kenneth, wrote it in 2008, right? For another engine in our team, right? And so we are not really using, right? We are not really using Unreal in this part, because I think that most of this could be redone with Unreal objects somehow, right? And maybe using objects that are, automatically garbage collected. So avoiding as much as possible any new, right? Any new. And yeah, 2008 is probably the latest version, by the way. It was probably before that, but anyway. The first release of this game was 2002. Oh my god, look at how many we have. No. Okay. Obviously we have some functions. We have some macro or what? I hope this is not a macro. No, I think it's a value. Oh my god. This is lame, huh? Yeah, we know. We know. Fuck. Not this, please. No. Not now. Hello, Askri. Hey, thank you for the follow. Oh my god. I don't think I can go over this. So it is basically a fake pointer with a specific hard-coded value. Holy moly. If I do this, it will never work, huh? I think it will never work, huh? So it's a fake pointer with an hard-coded value that we use to check something. No, obviously not. Obviously not. May this be the source of all the evil? May this be the source of all the evil? May this be the source, guys, of all the mess that we are trying to debug. Which, by the way, works perfectly in the old game, huh? In the old game, this code runs like a charm, and he has run for years. So, but now the problem we have is that we have this, right? So how can I go around this? So I need. So I don't even know why we do this. We are saying what? We are saying so where is this modifier fake active spell even used? Buff. Modifier fake active spell. Modifier attribute num buff. Can this be the source of all the evil that we are experiencing now? I mean, why we cannot just create, you know, why we cannot just create one when the freaking server starts and we call it modifier fake active spell and we always use this one over and over, right? So why we need to do something like stupid like that? Why? You know? I mean, we can, instead of this shit, we can just create, you know, static on whatever, on game mode, or we can put it wherever we want, right? And we create just one variable that we always stay there, will never be removed, I hope. Well, if it's a weak pointer, it will. It might not be, just keep it was working before. Yeah, but when I say before, I mean before the conversion to Unreal Engine. So in another engine. Because our game was in another engine before. And then we moved it to Unreal, so... But this thing is working for other spells. You know, guys, what problem I have? I have this problem that it's too late. And I need to go. I'm very unhappy that we didn't fix it today, but I was kind of prepared for this because I think that this bug is harder than 2 hours, right? Is harder than 2 hours. So I think at this point we have, realistically, we have few options, right? Option number one, change the spell, right? Change the spell. So don't use variable int script, because this is the only one that is crashing. Everything else is not crashing. And there's another mystery, by the way. There is another mystery. Why only variable int, right? And I try to compare the two. Like if I use this one, if I use a combat modification, works. If I use a variable int, it doesn't. I try to compare the classes, understand why didn't get. The only difference is that this one is creating a buffable on the fly, right? The difference is that this one is creating this buffable this way. Right? While this one and other ones are doing it differently, you see. So they are getting a mod, so this one is a multiplier, this one is a multiplier object, this one is a buffable object, right? So that's a difference, right? That's a difference. And this one is crashing, this one is not. So, but both multiplier and buffable are child of our iSpell thingy, right? Are both child of our iSpell generic thing, right? iSpell modifier. So if I think about it that way, it looks like this class may generate problems, right? This class may, the problem is that buffable, you know, we use it freaking everywhere. We use it everywhere, but in this class, you know, we are loading it this way. We are loading it through this get. You know what I can do just as a stupid test? Instead of creating this buffable, I can just create a multiplier, right? That could be a very good test. So we change this class because we don't care about the effect at the end. We don't really care. At the moment, we don't care. I mean, if this guy is getting the right buff, right? So I could change this code and copy it from here and rerun the same example and see if it crashes. If it's not crashing, and hopefully it is not, it's not a problem of the cancel on the spell, but it's the problem inside the buffable, which is obviously passed as a modifier, right? Because this is the modifier, right? This is the modifier that is passed and added to my spell, right? So I could do that change, right? Yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do. Can I do it now? No, I cannot do it now, boys. I will have to do it tomorrow, so I will have to do it tomorrow evening. I cannot do it now, it's too late, guys, it's too late. But I think that could be a test. They could be a good test. And if that doesn't crash, it means that for whatever reason, this class is problematic. And so maybe inside this class, I don't know, maybe it is on change that I don't even remember what it does. Is empty. It is on change. Yeah, in this case does nothing. I mean, it doesn't look very, I mean, it looks very simple at the end. This thing is keeping a number on top of an existing stats, you know, so it's not doing anything crazy, just keeping a list of buffs and is pushing that list of buffs, so it's not doing anything crazy. And the on change is even empty, you know. And then he's removing from the buffs when that is removed, and he's removing the cache value based on the value. So it's not doing much. Is he not doing much? But I think that is a very good. I think that is a very good change. I think it's a very good change. So I will do this tomorrow. I will change this run to be equal to this run, okay? And everything else I will leave the same. I think I will undo the change of the T pair because it is too complex at the moment. I cannot do it. So I go back like a million Control Z, and we just don't do that. Okay, I finished the Control Z, so I guess that's something I will have to do manually. But I will do that change and I will see if it crashes, okay? And I will tell you tomorrow. I will tell you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm not streaming because tomorrow I'm busy in the evening, but we will see each other Saturday afternoon around 4:30 or 5 European time, okay? So until then, thank you for watching. Since we still have some people from Unreal, I think I'm gonna do a raid. And let me see who we can raid. We can raid Warka, we can raid Aurora, but he's playing Diablo, no. We can raid Team Vash. Do you want to see another MMO? Let me see if she's programming or if she's discussing about stuff. No, it's discussing about stuff. Let's see if there is anyone else doing a real engine except from CodeMiko. Real engine, real engine, real engine, real engine. Working on a project, software development. This guy?
You guys can't hear this, but I like this. Okay, we're gonna do -35.
But it's doing something else.
I still want you to be able to hear it.
Illegal worker. Ah, this guy's working on real, for real. So we rate this guy. That has one viewer. One viewer the best. One viewer the best. I think this guy was speaking German only, but I think that for 16 or 20 viewers he will speak also English. Okay guys, I'm going bye bye. I really need to run, so I will just say bye bye like this, okay? Bye bye bye. See you Saturday. Bye bye.